Good Samhain, Day of the Dead, All Hallows Eve, Ghouls and Ghosts. This is Reluge, and today I'm going to bring you some scary stories. Now, these are stories from my parents. They love telling these stories, and I kind of don't want the stories to die with them. So, today I will be bringing you two scary stories. The first one is from my mother. She entitled this Womp. Now, this is a story that actually happened to her. In case you get scared, it's a kid. So, she was a little girl, and she had a friend over for the night. Now, she used to live on a farmland. Like, her father owned a farm. And, of course, they have a barn. And they had a mama cat. Cat just had a litter. So, my mother and her friend decided it was going to be a fun time to go out to the barn and pet all the little kittens. They were not allowed in the barn, so they had to wait until nightfall. So my mom grabbed a little flashlight, or for the non-American viewers, torch. At least I'm pretty sure that is what they actually call it anyway. And so she goes out there with the light, goes to the barn, looks around, trying to find all these kittens. Cannot find them. So, to make sure that it's not a wasted trip, they decided to go to sleep in the hay. So they're laying there making like shadow puppets, telling jokes, scary stories, stuff like that. When all of a sudden, somewhere in the darkness, they hear whoomp. They stop dead. They're listening for any kind of sound, any movement. There is none. So they decided it might just be time to just fall asleep. So they're laying there quietly trying to fall asleep, and all of a sudden, whoomp. Now my mom is starting to get scared at this point. There's no lock on the barn. It's night in the middle of nowhere. And she has only a flashlight to protect herself and her friend from whatever danger there is. So, my mom is on the verge of tears. She doesn't want to turn on the flashlight because she doesn't want whatever it is to know where they are. Whoomp! My mother's about to turn to her friend and apologize for putting her into danger when all of a sudden they hear turns on her flashlight, shines it over into the corner. There were 4 kittens. Whoomp! Here comes another one jumping down from the railing above. Whoomp! The reason why they couldn't find the kittens is because they were sleeping in the rafters above. So for a good solid, I don't know how long she said, let's just say 10 minutes. The two girls are laying on the floor, laughing their asses off while getting licked by little kittens. So, that's my mom's story. My father's story is fictional. Didn't happen, but it's a really good story to tell during Halloween. So, this one is entitled The Brother. So, there lived two brothers, twin brothers. One brother was very successful in his life. He got insanely rich to the point where he can just buy jewelry and put it on him and still have money for like bills and whatever. And I do not know how to get rid of all this massive glare on my glasses. Maybe taking them off will work for now. Screen's all blurry. So, one brother's rich, bunch of jewelry. Second brother was more lazy than his more successful brother. He wanted like the system to pay for all of his stuff. He just really did not want to go and do work. His goal was to marry a rich woman, but no one would want him because he's too damn lazy. And so he lived in squalor, mostly homeless his entire life. The rich brother comes down with a disease and dies. In his will, he left a small amount of money to his brother, but the rest of it went to his family, his kids, his wife, their mother, widowed mother, just for information. And he requested to be buried with all of his jewelry. So, on the night before the funeral, they have what's called sitting with the dead. The casket of the deceased would be in the living room or bedroom or whatever. And they would sit around the casket telling stories about how they loved this person, story like fond memories. However, not many people showed. In fact, it was just the brother and the mother. But the mother couldn't stay up all night with the body, so she went home. So it was just the poor brother. Sitting staring at the coffin. And he's thinking to himself, why request to be buried with stuff? It's a waste. I could take the jewels, the rings and whatnot, and sell them for money. The money that I'm due. So he opens up the coffin, removes all the rings, earrings, necklace, the pure golden belt buckle that he has, shoves them all in his pockets. Looks at his brother's face and says, "So, who's living now? The one that does all the work or the lazy one?" Closes the lid and walks off into the living room chuckling to himself. So, he's sitting there trying to figure out which pawn shop would give him the most money, when suddenly he hears, "Hum, boom, boom." He's trying to figure out what made that noise, so he figured it was just the wind. Boom. Boom. It's coming from the bedroom where the coffin is. So he goes, he checks, opens the door, looks in, coffin's moved slightly. He figured his family must have come by without him knowing it somehow. So he just closes the door, goes and sits down. He hears, whoom, 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 whoom. So he goes and checks on it. In the hallway, the bedroom door is closed, and the coffin is standing up in the hallway right next to the door. So he figures someone's playing a trick on him. Must be the family, which is probably why they didn't come. They're just hiding somewhere. So he yells into the darkness, "Haha, very funny, you won't get me that easily." Rocky, where are you, Twix? You're Rocky. Hi, Rocky. And so, he sits down, hears vroom, hum, hum. He yells, "You're not gonna scare me." Hum. He gets up, looks around the corner, the coffin is closer. Door still closed. No one in sight. So he starts getting a little concerned. He walks into the living room before he can sit down. Hum. He turns around, coffin is standing right there. So in a panic, he remembers that down in the basement, there's an axe. So he rushes down the basement, down the stairs. He goes into the back room. Above him, he can hear, hum, hum, shh, rum. That was like the coffin moving across the floor. That was bad, I'm sorry. Hum. He hears it at the stairs. He's looking through all like the garbage, all stuff like boxes of his belongings. No axe. He looks over. The coffin is on the steps, sliding down each step, coming after him. He's frantically searching. No axe, nothing that he can use to defend himself. He turns around. He sees the coffin on the floor, right across the room. And it's moving step by step, moving itself, just he's against the wall, doesn't know what to do. Then he thinks of it. He knows what to do. He puts his hand in his pocket, pulls out a lozenge and pops it in his mouth to stop the coffin. So, that was Brawler. I hope I retold that story properly enough. And it's just, I always loved my parents' stories. And I just wanted to share these with you and imprint them on a medium forever and always. Oh, excuse me. So, if you guys have little, like, Halloween stories you like telling, or like your family tells or something, go ahead, share them in the comment section down below. I might even do a video of sharing them with your permission, of course. Just let me know if I could share it. If you don't want me to share it, that's fine. So, click on whichever thumb you think is appropriate for this video. This has been a thing I've been wanting to do for a couple of years now. I just haven't been able to do it. Until next time, Stay spooky.